I really don't want to bore you all with all the zucchini stuff that I'm doing, but it just keeps coming and coming out of my garden. I'm having a blast harvesting it, trying to figure out what to do with it, and sharing it with everybody. And today I made I had some of those little round ones that I used for the antipasto rolls, and so I cut those in half, took the pulp out of them, took the zucchini meat out of them, and took some other vegetables. I was gonna do a Southwest taco one, but I had so many vegetables that I just decided to leave it vegetarian. So we're doing cheesy herb stuffed zucchini boats, and they came out really good. I took peppers and onions and some fresh herbs from my garden as well, and some of the zucchini and some corn, and I hollowed out the zucchinis, made a little slice on the bottom to make them flat, and put them in a baking dish, stuffed them with the other vegetable mixture. I sauteed all the vegetables together with some, and then melted some cheese in them and stuffed them, topped them with a little more cheese, and baked them, and they came out brown and bubbly. And tonight I'm going to be enjoying one of those next to my steak and enjoy making them yourselves. We're going to start with some zucchini from my garden. These are funky little round ones. I don't know what kind they are, but I thought they were fun. We're going to cut them in half the long way. I like to leave the stems intact for aesthetic purposes. And now we're going to remove the pulp, or the zucchini meat, from the inside of the shell and hollow them out. I like to keep the pulp as much intact as I can, so I cut them into little squares first so you can scoop them out in pieces. And we're going to repeat that with all four halves. Then we're going to make a little flat slice on the bottom so that the zucchini doesn't roll around when you bake them. They sit flat in the pan. We're going to turn them upside down on a baking sheet and put them in the oven for about 20 minutes at 350. And while that's cooking, we're going to make our filling. We're going to take our zucchini pulp, and there's Kelly getting in. We're going to dice half an onion and some colored peppers and some tomato, and I cut some corn kernels off of a couple of ears of corn, and some oregano and basil from my garden as well, which we're going to tear off the leaves and chop them up. I'm loving the fresh herbs. It's been so much fun growing them. We're going to heat a little olive oil in a skillet, and that's over medium heat. We're going to add to that our peppers and onions and tomato, and we're going to saute those for a little bit, and we're going to season them with some salt and some garlic powder, a little pinch of crushed red pepper flake, and a little bit of black pepper. And we're going to saute that. Lots of flavor there. And now we're going to add in our herbs. And we're going to stir those around to blend them, saute them for a little bit. And now comes our corn. And we're going to repeat that process. We're going to blend that in with the rest of the vegetables and herbs. And next comes our zucchini. And we're going to stir that around, cook that around till those vegetables are softened. Now, a lot of liquid came out of those vegetables, so I decided to sprinkle a little cornstarch over top and mix it in with the vegetables to absorb some of that extra liquid so that the stuffed zucchini aren't sloppy and everything holds together. We're going to add in some cream cheese. The only kind of cream cheese I had was onion and chive, but you can use plain. I would have had I had some. And some cheddar cheese. And we're going to blend that in with the vegetables until all the cheese is melted. And it makes this nice, creamy, cheesy, vegetable-y filling. Now we're going to spray a baking dish with some non-stick cooking spray, and our oven is still on at 350. We're going to add our par-cooked zucchini, open side up this time, and we're going to stuff the filling into the zucchini halves, and looks good enough to eat. Now we're going to add some Parmesan cheese over top to give it a nice crust. We're going to bake those for about 20 minutes at 350, and they come out looking like this, browned and cooked through. And you can eat the shells too because they're just zucchinis. So I sliced them in half into sort of wedges, and I'm going to enjoy those, as I mentioned in the intro, with a nice grilled sirloin.